Hey there, welcome to another edition of Vegas BadBoyz of podcasting. It is I, DJ Impact, and we got Rob Basilari with us and Sin City Steve. And welcome again to Wrestling Talk. Man, everybody, join us. If you're watching us right now, put the comments in the comment books, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and we'll try to get it on the screen as we see fit. But until then, we're going to get this show started. It's been a lot of wrestling this past week. So let's see what's been going on. Too sweet for the week. Sin City Steve, man, what you got?
All right, man. So MJF versus Kyle Fletcher for the American Championship kicked off Dynamite. And I got to say, this match was great. Kyle Fletcher will be a champion in AEW at some point. He's already held the Ring of Honor TV title, but he will hold gold in AEW proper soon. That and MJF's in-ring ability just is something that continues to get slept on repeatedly, way too frequently, actually. We've known about his mic skills for years, but he is amazing in the ring, and it's time that people actually take notice of it. MJF picked up the win after Don Callis handed Fletcher the screwdriver. Fletcher opted to not use it, and MJF seized the opportunity, hit him with a low blow, kangaroo kick, brain buster for the 3 count in about 18 minutes. And I know that I gave it shit when it was announced last week, but the Texas Bull Rope match on Collision between Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo absolutely delivered. It took the ladies a couple minutes to get into it, but once they did, they were both cooking. Both Rosa and Deonna bled in the match. Rosa was sporting a crimson mask by the end of the match. They both used the cowbell on the bull rope as well as chairs. Rosa bulldogged Deonna through a table, and Rosa picked up the win with the Fire Thunder driver in about 10 minutes. Extremely well done. And then the Collision main event was the Bang Bang Gang versus the House of Black with Christian Cage as the special guest referee. And yes, he wore a turtleneck referee shirt. I know you can't stand the guy, Rob, but he draws mega heat everywhere he goes. And the guy knows exactly what to do. He's
Mambla's favorite wrestler.
I'll tell you, man, he was getting a crazy reaction from the crowd the entire match. And, it was a stipulation that the winners of the match would end up facing the Patriarchy at All In for the trios titles. And yeah, you can see where this is going. All 6 guys get their shit in. Everybody lays each other out. And then the last man standing is Buddy Matthews. And Christian Cage spears him. And then counts to 10. So that way no one wins the match. So obviously then the Patriarchy come out, no contest. They beat the shit out of all 6 guys in the ring. It's pretty obvious that it's going to end up being a 3-way at All In, but this was an imaginative way of doing things.
A 3-way just the way Christian likes it.
Hey man, actually, wouldn't that be a 9-way? I don't know. Anyway.
No.
But in any event, an inventive way of doing the same old, hey, he's a special referee and doesn't like anyone in the match. Because usually there's some form of chicanery. This week was no exception.
Okay. Let me go over to you, Rob. What do you got? Too sweet.
I definitely thought that we were going to see the end of the New Day. I didn't know how they were getting out of this. And then we get Odyssey Jones as the new Big E. That was awesome. But what I like was they planted a seed there. We'll talk about that later. They planted a little seed there, but I like that they have essentially a new Big E. This was very interesting. Jeff Jarrett versus Bryan Danielson. Come on, slow clap that one, not sarcastically. Christ's sakes. Jeff Jarrett took it to Bryan Danielson. The fights in the causeway in the vending area was amazing. He came right out with the guitar upside Bryan Danielson's head to start the match out. He didn't pull any punches back. Danielson was on the ropes for the majority of that match up until the very end of it. It was Jeff Jarrett's match. That match was there to showcase that Jeff Jarrett still got it. And damn well did. He didn't bleed until the 3 count was done. Which really showed you, like, this fucking guy really wrestled at A+ level on Dynamite. Super over on that match. Yeah. On the other stuff, I'll talk about it later. And we'll talk about the other stuff later. The other shows.
Well, I'll tell you.
Actually, one thing, TNA was good. TNA was freaking good. They adjust everything that happened in NXT. They're now going side and side with NXT, keeping the storylines bouncing back and forth between the two. We got Gallus going over to TNA and getting their ass kicked by Joe Henry. Love it. All right, I'm done.
If I had a moment on Monday, it had to be done by the name Bronson Reed. I was going crazy when that happened. The first one is like, okay, all right, that's cool.
7 later.
Then it was number 2, and I'm like, okay. Then number 3 came. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Number 4 happened. Are you guys gonna stop this guy? Number 5, you guys hate Seth Rollins?
No.
Number 6, it was like, oh shit. Man,
Impact.
That's got freaking rolled on.
Yeah.
Did you notice the irony though? Rollins came out to the ring dressed like Hangman Page. He had the frilly jacket on, so he was dressed like Hangman Page. Punk actually threw out the "Okay, cowboy" comment, and then Bronson Reed proceeds to squash Seth Rollins in the Hangman Page cosplay. So I think you were,
okay.
Put 2 and 2 together, you'll get potato. Everything will be fine.
Really? Right. You know what? You have a mind for that. I would not have picked up on that.
I would have never picked up on that either. But wow. I mean, still an amazing segment overall, though. I mean, damn. But anyway, all right. Let's jump over into our next one. Who needs some love out there? Righty. Rob, who you think needs some love?
I didn't have a lot of time to think about this one. My mind was elsewhere. Okay. But there's 2 people in mind in WWE roster, and actually 4 people. A-Town Down Under right now look like just jobbers. They're coming off as just goofballs that show up to get squashed. They definitely set them up for a split multiple times, and they haven't done it. I would have loved to see them just go at it right now and just duel each other. I do like how Austin Theory, set up Grayson Waller for the loss a couple of times and returned the favor, gave him the receipt he deserved. But, these guys are really good in ring talents, and they're being wasted right now. The other one I'm worried about is Lyra Valkyria, because she looks like she's being used to set up other feuds. I don't know if you see where I'm going with this, but they're using her with the other 2 non-named tag team ladies to put other people over and to set up, spark feuds for other people.
Chance and Carter.
Yeah, and that's the thing, I forget their names too, so they need some love because they're forgettable. They've got them with neon hair and all the crap, and they're just forgettable. They never got out of NXT mode. And the other guys, DIY, they're another ones. These are people who all have great talent. They all have great talent. But DIY, they did that thing where they're cutting the promo and they missed their cue because they cut the promo for too long, and then they're trying to come out to the ring and they took too long. And I'm like, these guys can't catch a break. They just cannot catch a break. Same thing with Apollo Crews. Same thing with Baron Corbin. These guys, I could make a whole promotion of just these B team people that are too good for NXT, but not good enough for the main roster on either side. I don't know what you do with them.
Wow.
Am I wrong on this one? I don't know.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
They're just, I don't know what to do. And also, if you were to, let's say, sign them all to AEW tomorrow or put them in Ring of Honor, I don't see them doing any better there either.
No.
There's nothing you could do with a guy who's quirky and bald and used to be angst driven, or a guy who was African and then he wasn't African, and he's just strong, but he has no personality. And then women with random weaves and an Irish chick who's, the like the last one, but just a lighter version of the man, Becky Lynch. It's Becky Lynch with black feathers. She's got moves. She's hot. So Mike Skills. And my girl is coming up. My girl Jade Cargill's coming up. But oh, wait a minute. Did he just have a?
He just rage quit. Said, "Fuck this shit. I'm out."
Jesus Christ! I know I go on a bit, but damn it, I'm sorry.
I know, man.
Jade Cargill's starting to come back. She's eking back little by little. I think they're giving her baby steps. They're baby stepping Jade Cargill back into the scene and giving her palatable matches, because they have to find a way to get her to be safe, sell, and eventually build up to some good matches. She can't just be lifting people over her shoulder. She needs to do everything leading up to the money shot, which she hasn't been able to do all the stuff in the middle. Jade Cargill's good for the money shot, but everything leading up to it is just teeth job.
Let's go next to
I'm back.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, I told her she's out of here if you feel any more teeth. I've got a full roster, baby.
Oh man,
that's awesome.
You're
fired.
I'm gonna move over here to Sin City. But let me just tell you, apparently I must be suffering from some major internet issues, which rarely, never, ever happens to me. So I don't know what's going on.
Matt Michaels country.
Yeah, I blame
for those people who don't know. Like Vegas today got hit with a mini monsoon.
Yeah,
we got hit with a little mini monsoon, and then it stopped, and then there was another one. So a lot of places flooded. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some network traffic issues. When maybe if one place gets damaged, they have to reroute internet.
It's definitely something, man. Because even putting this podcast on, putting this together tonight took me a minute to get our platform to even accept, accept the entire links. So there's something there, but so if I disappear, my bad. At some point I'll jump back.
We're still waiting him to load from 2 weeks ago.
Of course. All right, Sin City, what you got, man? Where's the love?
Rob, you actually mentioned it briefly in the first segment, but where is the love for Jeff Jarrett? They are using this guy in absolutely the most correct way possible.
Oh yeah,
and I'm not seeing enough people mentioning how good of a job this guy's doing. If you look at it, the last month he has been completely locked in with the stuff with Hangman Page, with the Bryan Danielson stuff. Not just the promo, but the match this week. They brawled out into the stands, up into the concourse, like what you had mentioned. This is exactly what they need to be doing with Jeff Jarrett. He is getting their existing roster over, and continue to have him do that. If they're going to continue to want to feed Hangman Page and use him to get Jarrett rather to get Hangman Page over even more, that's cool. I mean, if you want to spiral him away into someone else, absolutely. But yes, more of this, less of the credible threat to winning championships, Jeff Jarrett, because I think everybody now knows that time has passed and that ship has sailed. So yeah, where is the love for Jeff Jarrett, and why aren't people taking notice?
And Karen Jarrett, she's still hot. She didn't get sloppy yet.
Her surgeon works wonders.
Yeah. Ask Kurt Angle. He paid for it.
Oh boy.
Basically.
That's money down the drain.
All right. That segment right into the perfect segment. Let's go.
Wait a minute. Is that Michaels?
Uh-oh. All right.
Remind me of the segment. I'm brain farting.
Yeah. So no worries. We're gonna jump into WTFs. I'll go ahead and kick it off. The Acclaimed won a #1 contenders match for the AEW World Tag Team titles. It was never stated when the match was going to be, but as seen on Collision, they're doing the match this week on Dynamite. Wait, what? You mean to tell me that they've got a match? They have a World Tag Team title match in their pockets that they can use whenever they want, and they're choosing to use it at just a throwaway Dynamite 2 weeks, 10 days before the pay-per-view? It makes no sense to me. Still, they're teasing, I guess, FTR, Acclaimed, and the Bucks. So, I mean, I guess if they're going to do that as a three-way, but still, if you're looking for the logic, there's not any. What the fuck? And why in the name of anything holy did we feel the need to muddy the waters for All In? Speaking of that, Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale have been doing great things for the last couple of months. Okay. So to cap off their feud, to be the blow-off match at the biggest show of the year, they've got a gimmick match set for All In, right? Nope. For whatever reason, it was announced on Collision that we're going to have Willow and Tomohiro Ishii, versus Statlander and Stokely. I mean, what? Okay. Yes, it's going to be funny because, of course, Stokely's going to get his comeuppance. You're going to see Ishii beat that guy down. But even still, are you going to then follow that up with a singles match as a gimmick match between Willow and Chris at All Out 2 weeks later? I mean, if not, what the fuck is the thinking on this one? And speaking of Ishii, he answered Swerve's open challenge for the Eliminator match on Collision this week. Of course, he didn't win. Of course, it wasn't even really competitive. Has Ishii ever won a match in AEW of any consequence whatsoever?
Nope.
When I saw that, when they did the whole, who's his opponent going to be? And then, you see the Stone Pitbull logo pop up on the Jumbotron. It's like, oh, fuck. And I literally did that. I did a deep sigh and exhale. Just, Anyway, not this shit.
AEW is New Japan Pro Wrestling West.
Yeah, basically. And the last thing as far as WTFs that I've got, you probably heard this stuff this week about Britt Baker saying some stuff to MJF or saying some stuff about MJF with an earshot of MJF's girlfriend and new AEW hire, Alicia Atout. And supposedly she told Max confronted Britt got suspended, blah, blah, blah. However you want to believe. But this week on Dynamite, they tried to retcon the whole suspension into storyline by saying that Mercedes Moné called in a favor to the Young Bucks to have them suspend her for whatever reason.
And then she came up on TV a minute later and said,
and I'm going to get to that. But so I guess they assume that fans are too dumb to know that Tony Khan, who actually has the last word in AEW, really travels to every single show and is backstage at every single show. So if this was the case, then why did he have to wait to overrule the suspension by a week or by 2 weeks? And, to have Tony Schiavone announce that TK lifted her suspension, and then they just so happen to have a satellite feed with Britt Baker cutting a promo via satellite.
Probably from the back office somewhere.
Absolutely. I did love how they did kind of work in the stuff with Mercedes taking her ball and going home from WWE into the promo though. But still, what the fuck?
You know what's so funny? I was actually about to say exactly what John wrote here. I had saw a headline about there being some issues with her having something to do with Cody being, that whole issue and drama. Is she that much of a cancer to the AEW?
I mean, if you believe anything that Thunder Rosa had to say during AEW All Access, and anything that's come out, in the fallout from that show, then obviously she was sounding the whistle on that shit all the way back then. So,
God, that Britt Baker was like a diva.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn Pittsburgh Steelers fans.
Wasn't that also the problem with that got Awesome Khan kicked out of there because she got into Rebby Sky way back? It was another diva issue, and you never seen either one of them ever again.
Yeah, it's they definitely need to work on the structure, as has been mentioned ad nauseum on this show.
You know what they need? They need the best women's manager of all time, Brooke Hogan.
Oh, Jesus.
Brooke Hogan. Hulk Hogan's daughter knows how to control women, brother.
Does she though?
Okay.
Hey, I screwed you, and I definitely screwed Brooke. Best line in wrestling. The best line.
Let me go over to you, Rob. What's your WTFs?
He wasn't sure what character I was today. Here's my thing, and I'm probably just going to focus on one thing because it stuck out to me, and most of what I'm going to say really couldn't have been avoided, but we were sold on a bloodline with Tama Tonga Loa, who injured his eye socket and he's got the patch or whatever, and whatever they're doing with him, whether it's kayfabe or not, and then Jacob Fatu. Fucking Jacob Fatu is indestructible. He's this, he's that. The Tonga brothers were going to wrestle for the belts, but because it's the bloodline, these guys have it. Oh, Jacob Fatu is injured, so we're just going to hold on to these belts and use them as a prop. But these guys don't look that invincible anymore, and Roman Reigns really only went through, 2.5 guys. He went through them way too easily, and he went through them on his own. That was a problem for me, that the original tribal chief went through all of his people that easily. If that's the way you're going to run it, then what do? They should have immediately bowed down to their knees and said, well, fuck. There's a reason why you're the original tribal chief. You just shit right through me. Here you go. Here's your chili peppers. So sorry, sir. But now I can't look at any of the three of these guys all that seriously. I don't know what's going on now with that.
Yeah, I mean, you got Johnny says here, WTF to Tonga Loa walking out on SmackDown with holding the tag team title. I guess
and he can't even hold it right.
Yeah, no. And that's the thing, because technically speaking, even AEW is like, hey, look, half your team is gone. We're going to have a new open match to fill the vacancy. We're not just going to hand the. Now, WWE has done this before. They handed the belt off to Piper Niven that one time when it was, Chelsea Green. So they've done it before, but you can't do it with these guys because you put them over as the most unstoppable version of the bloodline to date. And then that flame burned out overnight. I didn't get to see SmackDown right away. I watched it later on, and I saw a clip on Facebook of Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman. So to find out that I was looking like an old photo and that Paul Heyman never showed up also pissed me off, because Heyman should have been the first one out there running his goddamn mouth, because this fucking guy, Roman Reigns, still doesn't have great mic work. In my opinion, he's still mediocre, unless I missed something. Was Paul Heyman wasn't there that night, was he?
Well, he wasn't, but also Roman didn't talk either. So
right, and that's my thing is, if I'm coming off of SummerSlam and you have completely abducted my family name and the bloodline and the whole thing, I'm going to get on that mic and run my damn mouth.
Well, that eventually will happen.
I get it. To me, considering the amount of rage, I wanted some sort of mic work from him. And he went through them too easily. He needed to have somebody in his corner, whether it was Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso.
Yeah, but then they also
too soon.
They also came back and and they was able to, to hold him back, because actually when he was trying to get that, what is that tribal chief necklace?
The Kungolea,
Yeah, whatever it's called. But they
Maui
pretty much,
coffee.
stopped
Chili peppers.
The
There
chili
you go,
peppers.
chili
Yeah,
peppers.
you were. I looked at it. Well, chili peppers. Okay.
But they stopped him from being able to take that. So they eventually did have their little moment of,
I want to see somebody from AEW walk around with a bunch of poblano peppers on their neck. That'd be fucking hysterical. It'd be so racist. It'd be so over the top bad. Like Samoa Joe just comes out with a bunch of chili peppers on his neck. But no, to me
they did stop him, was my point.
Oh, they slowed him down, but they start spearing them nonstop. Here's my thing. You've got to rebuild the credibility of that version of the bloodline now and have them have some major wins over Roman Reigns. You have to have them really crush him, and he needs to come back. He needs to build his own faction. He cannot go through them as easily as he did on Friday, because otherwise, what the fuck? Why do we have these other guys there? They should have just bowed right back down to him and said, "I'm sorry, sir. Here are your chili peppers." I'll go to the store and I'll make my own. The Ula Fala necklace. No, sir, those are chili peppers. Those are, he went to Hobby Lobby. He got some, he said, I want a Southwest motif. And then he got some needle and thread. He sewed them together.
Oh, boy. All right.
Well, you know what? Come over here, kick my ass over it. Fucking Solo Sikoa. Make me famous.
Crazy.
Those were...
All right. What are we looking out for? I'll go with you, Sin City.
All right. So All In is 2 weeks away, and they've done a lot of building for this show. I know that the bag on AEW has always been, they don't develop these matches. They don't get people emotionally invested in them. This pay-per-view has been a different type of an animal with how they've chosen to build the matches and build to the matches. There's now going to be a casino gauntlet match on the show, which was announced this week. I'm sure that that's where we're going to get our major debut. Give me Ricochet or even Robert Lashes in that Joker spot, please and thank you. Yeah, if you're gonna debut Ricochet or Bobby Lashley in AEW, that's going to be a great spot to do it.
Bobby Lashley.
Is
he under contract with them, or is that?
He is a free agent as of the present moment. His WWE contract is officially expired.
Oh, it would be.
Oh God, it's Bobby.
Like, they're not gonna do that. They're boring. Never mind. They're boring guys.
I know. Plus, they wouldn't know how to book him right anyway. He's above 250 pounds, so they don't know how to book for guys that are bigger.
Look at that. In the pre-match was Bobby Lashley versus Brian Cage, and they both lost the match somehow.
No shit. And speaking of this week on Dynamite, Norfolk is actually going to be treated to a pretty decent set of matches on the show. You've got the Young Bucks versus the Acclaimed, as I mentioned. Now, I'm not a fan of the Acclaimed, using their title match opportunity on a Dynamite, but nonetheless, it should still be a very good match. You're also going to have Mercedes Moné putting the TBS title on the line against Hikaru Shida. Obviously, we all know who's going to win that, but it still should be a good match. Hangman Page versus Jay Lethal. Looks like Jay Lethal is going to be putting Hangman over. And Swerve Strickland versus the young boy of the BCC, Wheeler Yuta. So should be a pretty solid show. I am looking forward to it. And also, we are going to be getting a face-to-face with Kazuchika Okada and Claudio Castagnoli. Yes, please. Thank you. Book that shit for All In. Thank you.
Wow. That does seem like something big right there. Rob, what's your thoughts?
Well, it's All In season now. And the Swerve Strickland match, I really don't care about. I mean, they're not gonna have Bryan Danielson lose. So you bury that lead, unless he does, and then Bryan Danielson cries and goes, "I want one more shot to redeem myself," and then they take it to Tacoma. That's possible, but either way. Timeless Tony Storm and Mariah May is the match I want to see. She came out in the noir, the film noir outfit, that 50s kind of Audrey Hepburn outfit. I love everything about this. Mariah May is just demented. Even like, let's take demented Tony Storm and then go to the right of that and go deeper demented. Fucking love it. MJF versus Will Ospreay. We're talking about an international championship versus an American championship. And I love that American championship. I love that he takes it around to CMLL. He goes to other countries and he's just rubbing it in people's faces. Fucking love this guy. He reinvents the game. I love this guy better.
He wrestled Michael Oku.
Yeah.
He wrestled Michael Oku in the UK.
Yeah.
So yeah, like he absolutely agreed.
And that's the thing. MJF is such a good heel, but he's a working. You know, like you always get the I'm a fighting champion. MJF is a heel fighting champion. You never get that. Usually the champion's like, oh, I'm a heel. I'm not going to wrestle. I'm going to tell you, wait. He's a fighting champion and a heel. Like I've never seen that combination in a while. Since what? Ric Flair? Ric Flair is maybe the last guy to be a fighting heel. Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker, don't care. I should. Darby Allin versus Jack Perry. Now I care because Jack Perry's got to meet Darby Allin's energy. When you don't give a shit about your own body and you're willing to flamethrower somebody, I would be afraid to even, they dripped you in some flame retardant oil. I don't give a shit. I'm afraid to go pull the trigger and set you on fire. No, not Darby Allin. I want this match to just be the most insane match whatsoever. I hope there's bumps. I hope there's tables. I hope there's chairs. I hope there's glass. I want to see Darby Allin be put through a goddamn, metal reclamation thresher. Okay. I just want to hear like Darby Allin go through it. And then, and I want old school Jim Ross. I want them to get a time machine and go back to 1998 Hell in a Cell Jim Ross. By God, they put him through a thresher. As Lord as my witness, he is chum. I want it to be that level. Get Mike Tenay. Where's fucking Mike Tenay? He has some pipes. I need somebody with pipes doing this match. Okay. I want Mike Tenay, Jerry the King Lawler, and good old Jim Ross commentating this match. All right. No Excalibur. Excalibur is fucking Mexican Michael Cole. He's boring. He's trying. God bless him. He's trying. And Shivani don't get anywhere near that mic. I'll have the Tony Khan flamethrower in a goddamn red hot minute. He is terrible on the mic. Well, it's exciting, isn't it, guys? Isn't it? Oh, exciting. You're Shivani. It is. As Susan goes, hey, Shivani, you're a fucking dumbass. I love Taz and Shivani when the cameras are off and it's just on Fightful. All right. But yeah, no, get me Jack Perry, Darby Allin, the most insane hardcore match ever. Make it a cinematic match, even. Whatever. Have Darby Allin, tied to the back of a Chrysler 300 and dragged through the streets of Ohio.
Oh boy,
he'll do it.
Trust me, that exact combination. I've been a part of something similar to that firsthand. It's not fun.
Oh my God, I was. Yeah, all right. You just took the wind out of my sails. You're like, Mike was like, yeah, I did it to him for real. Vote for Trump, will you? We'll see to that.
Oh, Jesus. All right, man. Best in show. All right, Rob, what was best show this week for you?
It was a toss-up between Dynamite and Raw. I had a hard time picking between those two. Everything else had spots. I'm including TNA in that. I gotta give it to Dynamite for that freaking Jeff Jarrett match. That was not anything other than a Jeff Jarrett match. I mean, that was a match for a 30-year-old wrestler. And Jeff Jarrett's in his mid-50s and put on that much of a show. He stole the whole week.
But that second hour of Raw was just insanity. I made a comment going, were they trying to compete against the Olympics or what? I mean, they were just going hard during that time. It was good stuff. So I didn't get to see Dynamite, so you might still give the edge, but I know Raw was definitely on a whole nother level.
The Wyatt Six were good. The American Made, that was good. The Wyatt Six
and he had
expectations.
And then you had Rhea and Damian Priest, finally. Yeah, you don't care? All right. Well, I thought it was
Rhea and Damian, unless they're gonna bang right now, they're just like brother and sister who are fighting off.
Jesus.
All
right.
Whatever.
I'll move over then to you.
He wants to take her south of heaven.
Sin City, how about you, man? What was your best in show?
All right. So for me, it's going to be AEW Dynamite, but I will say I love, and I mentioned this last week too, I really like what they're doing with Collision. I really like that they've got it in the smaller venues and they have a different look to the show, because your two shows or your three shows should not look the same. They should be shot differently. They should have a different looking set. I do love that Collision is in the smaller, more intimate venues, the darker type of venues. That's where you can really have this type of a residency program shine. Also, let's be real. We sing the guy's praises, or at least I have for the last 4 weeks now, but Hologram, AEW is genuinely creating their own guy that has never worked as part of this gimmick anywhere else. This guy has never had this gimmick anywhere else he's ever been. And this is truly a homegrown gimmick. Hologram teamed up this week with Darby Allin, which is kind of an odd couple tag team, to take on the Premier Athletes. And they did pick up the win. But yeah, Collision was very, very good, but I've got to give it to Dynamite. We mentioned the banger match to start the show, the banger match to end the show. You had the character development stuff. I'm not a big fan of the 6+ minute squash match that Mariah May had with Viva Van. You could have maybe gone through and shrunken that match down a little bit, but in any event, it gives Viva a 6-minute match on Dynamite, which is pretty awesome to see. And that's somebody that continues to just build her resume as well. Top to bottom, I think Dynamite was a very, very solid show, very easy watch. So yeah, best in show for sure.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. My apologies for the internet. Next week I'm gonna have to. I rarely have these issues, but the real original issue will be back next week, we think.
Yeah, it's like the ghost. Like his problems are just creeping into our computers.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
All of us.
Yeah. So
yeah, John has a great point. What was your show of the week, Impact? Come on, man.
Oh, yeah. I probably would have given it to Raw. Again, I didn't get to see Dynamite, but I thought that Raw was just on fire. I love seeing how
it was a good show.
It was. Yeah.
I mean, seeing Seth, CM Punk, on the ring. Okay, we about to finally get this match going. Then Drew comes down from the crowd, holding up that wristing, sends CM Punk off to him. Then Bronson Reed comes in and does his destroying. Yeah. I mean, it was just like, what's going on this hour? What is Raw was definitely exciting. That probably.
Do you think the Wyatt Six were like? Do you think that segment was like, holy crap, that match? Did you think like, oh my God, or was it like, all right, this is good?
Well, I looked at it, I thought it was good.
I thought it was good. I wasn't
not the, oh my God.
It was not. It was. They didn't do anything astonishing. They did what I expected, and that's good. But I didn't go, holy crap! I got chills watching this. I was like, you did what you were supposed to do. You didn't disappoint. But I wasn't like, oh my God. Now, American Made, love that name. I love everything about that little gimmick right there. The Gable brothers, like, hey, we're losers. Let's go tag up with this guy. He'll make us famous. Cool. And I love how they whipped her, what's her name, in line too. Like she wasn't allowed to talk to Miss Dupree. I like everything about it, but it wasn't, holy crap, this was the right call to make. There was no other thing you could do with the 6 of those people. That was the right call to make. It was the right match to have, the right feud to have, but I wasn't like blown away by it. It was good. I'd give it like a B+, A-. It was good. but not like, like if there's something shot out of the side of fucking Bray Wyatt, of Uncle Howie's neck, and he turned into like a fucking demon, like Alien or some shit, I'd be like, oh my God, they found it. I was like, this is good. He sat in the rocking chair. The other chick sat there like a pet. Fine. I don't know.
Well, just remember, everything doesn't have to be a OMG moment. It could just be good. And so I think that's kind of where that was leading to.
Is if they ever at one point do the Ghost of Bray Wyatt, where if they could find a way respectfully to either do him on a Titantron or have a projection of him, do something to get the people to think that I would have done. Maybe a lead up to all of this was to have more Bray Wyatt mentions, more of his paraphernalia lying around the place. I don't know. Have him in the ring and have the lights go out and the lantern go on its own, something like that. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, we have to kind of
give it time.
Well, and yeah, I mean, let's let Bray kind of fade away. We don't need to keep being remembered, reminded of
do you
that.
do the Funhouse ever again?
I don't think so.
That's fair.
I think from this point, this should be kind of Bo's idea, and it should be new, but
independent,
right? But it can still have just enough weird enough to say, well, it came from that side of the family. If it make sense, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's kind of what I think it should be. But if people get to the point where they are trying to compare the two, then you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
And that's what you can't do. So
that's what I mean. I like I said, I like what they did with I want to say Samuel Shaw, but freaking Dexter Loomis. I hate. All right, whatever. The dreadlocks, the change, the in-ring stuff, the tag moves that they came up with. It was good. It was good. It wasn't super polished. It was good. And the hammer, the Bludgeon Brothers reference that Eric Rowan has with the hammer, that was great. There's a lot of Easter eggs there, so it's good. I need something big to happen with them. I need them to torture somebody. I need them to do something where somebody on that American Made breaks and just peels off.
You want somebody waterboarded in the ring? Oh Jesus! Let's
maybe waterboard. I was just going to think of like batteries, ripping off nails.
Oh God!
Psychological torture. Come back a few months later crying nonstop and pro the ball.
We got to talk with you off air and see what's really going on in your life, man. So
I've got problems. And I don't have insurance right now, so I can't talk to anybody about this. So you guys are
at least you admit it, man.
And it's half the battle. So back to torturing American Made and pulling out their hairs one by one with tweezers. I could see them doing that. I mean, this is basically something out of like a Rob Zombie-esque family. So
yeah, that's what it seems like.
I want to see them go super dark at some point. If they get over to streaming only, I need to see something truly fucked up. I don't know what that. I'm not talking Katie Vick fucked up. I'm talking about that bullshit. Like, bring their brains out. Oh, God, it was morbid and it was a dad joke. How did you make a rapey dad joke and then run with it for a month?
All right.
But anyways.
Listen, let's end it. I'm going to start with you, Sin City. What are your thoughts? And then we'll figure out what Rob will be this week. Go ahead, Sin City.
All right. Cool. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, doing all the stuff that you guys do. We appreciate each and every one of you. Also, very special shout out to all the brave men and women serving this country, whether you're doing it on lands foreign or domestic. Thank you for doing what you do so that we can do what we love to do. And last but not least, repsports.com, reppsports.com. Go there for all your pre-workout, weight loss, and general energy needs. Again, that's repsports.com. Use promo code Vegas at checkout. Save yourself 15%.
All right. Rob, what's up with you?
Well, you missed my last 3 shows I did. Last night I was at Notoriety for Shock Collar. The night before that, I was at the Underwear Show at the Bent Inn and Pub. And before that, I was at the LA Comedy Club. That was my secret. I got to perform at LA Comedy Club.
That's awesome.
I am doing, not this Monday, but the following Monday, I'll be in Boulder City for Backstop. And I think I've got a show coming up in September as well. As of right now, I got to get some more bookings. And check out Boss Comedy. I'll be putting out more videos and things. You'll see more of everyone's favorite president, Donald Trump. Yeah. So look for that. And you can also use that social media and find me on Cameo, because I give the very best birthday messages. Never ever has it been a birthday message so good. We even let the Mexicans get one. Feliz cumpleaños, okay? Okay, I speak the Spanish. That means happy birthday to Marisol. 1 year older and you're still in the country. Congratulations. Oh. We'll find you.
You guys.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Estamos listo. Vaya con Dios a Mexico.
Guys, follow him at Boss Comedy and support him, man. He's building.
We're gonna put him on ice. It's a lot of ice. A lot of ice.
Oh man! All right, y'all. Until then, we'll be back next week, and hopefully we'll have the other guy with us too. So we'll see.
I'll be here in spirit saying horrible Vince stuff. Yeah.